Dear Abby, I'm haunted by the idea that I cost her a job. To view the full article, click the first link in the description below. Dear Abby, about 40 years ago, I did someone an injustice, and I have felt guilty ever since. I worked for a consulting firm in Washington, D.C., that fired an accounting clerk who was in my small office. I didn't know why she was fired, and I never heard a cross-word exchanged between her and her supervisor. She seemed to be capable and friendly. A prospective employer called me for a reference, and because my company told me that it did not respond to requests for references, I didn't give her one. Ever since, I have wished I had shared what I knew about her. If I was allowed a do-over, I would have told the employer about my positive experience with her and my belief that she was capable and friendly. Her being black and not having my reference may have increased her difficulty in finding a job. I am sharing this with your readers so they may avoid making a similar mistake. Guilt-ridden in Texas. Dear guilt-ridden, some companies, on the advice of their legal counsel, strictly adhere to a policy of disclosing only dates of hire and discharge of employees. This has nothing to do with race or ethnicity. It was not a mistake to do as your employers instructed, and you should not feel guilty for having done so. Dear Abby, my heart is heavy as I write this. Since the pandemic started, my father-in-law has called us every couple of weeks to ask if we are safe and okay. I have heard nothing from my own father. I finally called him, mentioning that I thought he would call to check on us. His response was, "I'm the adult, you should be checking on me." I have 2 grown children and 2 grandchildren, so I was taken aback by the thought that I was not an adult. I mentioned that because he is not in a nursing home, in jail or has to go to work, I figured he was much safer than my husband and me, who still must go out to work every day and be in contact with hundreds of people. I feel like my father doesn't care about us. Like my dear Abby, about 40 years ago, I did someone an injustice, and I have felt guilty ever since. I worked for a consulting firm in Washington, D. To view the full article, click the first link in the description below.